Colleagues, again, thank you. What a great honor of continuing to serve as your speaker. It is a most humbling thing, and I appreciate the trust and the confidence that you're placing in me, and I promise to work hard every single day to deserve and to earn your support. I also want to say thank you to Assembly Members Bonilla, Gray, and Santiago for your very kind words. It means the world to me. I want to say welcome to our distinguished guests, and I have a long list that I'm going to introduce a little bit later. But thank you for joining us today, friends, family members, for being here for this incredibly important day for so many of our Assembly members. And colleagues, again, congratulations on your elections. I know that you are here to serve and to represent the people in your districts, and you will each work hard every day in that endeavor, and I promise to support you in that endeavor. I want to say congratulations as well to my friend and my colleague, Assemblymember Kristen Olson, on her first session as our Republican leader. I know that you will continue to be as strong an advocate for your caucus as you already are for the people that you represent, and I look forward to working with you. At the new member orientation, I talked about the different experiences and histories that we all bring with us to this chamber. In the class that was just sworn in for the very first time, we have folks from local government, small business owners, children of immigrants, and descendants of families who have been here for generations. We have veterans, we have classroom teachers. Assemblymember Bill Dodd owned and operated one of the state's largest Culligan distributorships. Big plug for Culligan there. We could have used your expertise in water delivery when we were working on the bond. Assemblymember Jim Cooper and Assemblymember Tom Lackey have law enforcement experience. And you should talk to Assemblymember Tony Thurman, who's worked with nonprofits, helping reduce crime and boosting school attendance and graduation, something our Attorney General is working very hard on. Assemblymember Jay Obernolte has a black belt in martial arts. Former Speaker Karen Bass had one too, which I'm sure came in handy back in the days when the legislature had to be locked down overnight to get a budget passed. Jay, we promise not to do that to you. Assemblymember Jackie Irwin worked at Teledyne Systems, and she also worked on the Trident Missile Project. So she joins Assemblymember Bill Quirk as someone who, when commenting on a bill, can actually say this isn't rocket science and have the experience to back it up. And Assemblymember Irwin, you should talk to Assemblymember Ling Chang, who has worked to increase the number of women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs. And in fact, we should all talk to each other. Even though we have different experiences and backgrounds, there is also so much that binds us together. A commitment to civility is one of the hallmarks of the Assembly, and that is how it should be when we're doing the people's business in the people's house. Some of the Assembly's biggest successes last year, as mentioned by Assemblymember Gray, the water bond, the rainy day fund, tax credits that help California's iconic aerospace and entertainment industries compete, were all achieved on a bipartisan basis in this House. In fact, we took a lead on those issues. I'd like to see that record continue. Every single one of us has an opportunity to contribute and to make a difference, every single one of us. As legislators, I believe our overarching responsibility is to strike the right balance. California needs a strong economy, a healthy business climate, good jobs, and opportunity. And California must be a place where it's safe and healthy and affordable to live, work, and raise our families. In 2010, when I was first sworn in, California faced a $25 billion deficit on the heels of just having closed a $60 billion one. Last month, the Nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office released economic projections for the state that show increased revenues, more money for schools, Tom, and community colleges, and a stronger rainy day fund, more debt repayment, a general fund projected to be in the black for years to come. And that was made possible. I really want people to feel this. That was made possible by hard choices, difficult votes, and a forward thinking that took place in this very chamber. Those were not easy moments. Actions that set the stage for the California comeback. California is a $2 trillion economy. The California Department of Finance and the World Bank both say that we're the 8th largest economy in the world. and we are the #1 destination for venture capital. In 2010, the state's unemployment rate was 12.4%. Today, it's 7.3%. Still too high, but a world better. The state recovered all of the jobs lost during the recession faster than all but 5 states. In October, California created 41,500 jobs, more than any other state. With 11.4% of the nation's manufacturing, we still contribute more than any other state. Exports are up over 2013, and 2013 was a record year for California. A new survey shows that Southern California small businesses are increasingly optimistic, expecting better revenue and higher sales and looking to boost hiring. That is good. In the past year, companies like Amway, Mercedes, Raytheon, DC Comics have been among those moving to or expanding in California. Companies are coming from such countries as Japan, Sweden, Australia, Germany, and England, and from other states like Virginia, Massachusetts, Georgia, New Jersey, and yes, even Texas. But when you look at California's business climate, there is truth to both sides of that argument. Our fastest job creation has come in low-wage sectors, where pay has declined and middle-wage workers are losing out. We have lost some high-profile businesses and jobs, including Toyota, Occidental, and Allergan. And while these losses are mostly related to companies retooling their business models, as they tell us, they give us an opportunity to think about what we can and what we must do better. And that's absolutely something that I want all of us to work on together. The Assembly has been committed to ensuring stability and expanding opportunity. And that includes giving businesses more predictability so they can make bigger and stronger investments in California and create more good-paying jobs for Californians. And it includes ensuring Californians have education, transportation, and affordable housing they need to work in our state. The fact is, California has come back, but not all Californians have. And the oath that we took today is also a promise to help fix that. No Californian who works a full-time job should be living in poverty. No Californian who wore the uniform of our nation's armed forces should be homeless. And no Californian should be priced out of a UC education because they come from a middle-class family. Colleagues, again from Tom. Colleagues, what an honor it is to be named a regent and a trustee in our prestigious higher education system in California. But I must tell you how disappointing it was to be at the recent UC Regents meeting a couple of weeks ago and to see the university administration and a majority of the regents approve an almost 28% tuition increase. As student regent Sadia Setfuddin said, she was one of the no votes, she described it. The tuition increase means a student basically has to find another month's worth of rent when they already aren't able to make ends meet. I think California students deserve better. And that's why I put forward an alternative proposal. We reject the fee increases for in-state students. We provide $50 million in additional state funding. We tie that funding to greater efficiencies from UC, and we tie it to increased enrollment of California students, a cap on out-of-state students, which, by the way, last year was the highest year and the highest number of out-of-state students. And we do an accelerated, reasonable fee increase for out-of-state students that are in line with what other universities and other states charge. Assemblymember Mark Steinnorth and Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia both went to UC Riverside. Assemblymember Miguel Santiago went to UCLA. In all, 10 new Assembly members attended a UC school. We need you to help us keep UC affordable and attainable for every California student. You know, it is clear to me that UC needs more money, but fee increases aren't the way to do it. You know, we also have 5 new members who graduated from California State University's system, which has not proposed a fee increase. And CSU also needs more state funding as well to increase student services, reduce the time needed to graduate, and to increase enrollment. Members, I am looking forward to working with you. And as I look around this chamber, I see an assembly that has one very big difference from the one that I joined 4 years ago. Most of you have an opportunity to be here for 10 or 12 years. And that means there's a greater opportunity to develop expertise, to take a more in-depth approach. One of the things I think the Assembly has done extremely well is our Budget Committee and our subcommittee process. As part of a more in-depth approach, I think we can make that process even better by adding a measure of zero-based budgeting. Through the zero-based budgeting approach, every line item of an organization's budget must be approved rather than only the changes from the previous year. That allows for more thorough public discussion of items contained in an organization's budget, and it gives them the opportunity to show that each dollar is being spent for the intended purpose and in the right way. Of course, it's not practical to do zero-based budgeting for an entire $100 million plus state budget in 1 year. But if we do a small portion every year, I think we can rebuild the entire budget over time, and that will be up to you, knowing that every dollar appropriated is indeed being spent for the intended purpose and, of course, in the right way. I will work with Governor Brown and the Senate President Pro Tem, Kevin De Leon, the Department of Finance, to see if we can develop an ongoing approach that works. This year, though, in keeping with the Assembly's commitment to keeping college affordable and maintaining a world-class system of higher education, the Assembly will begin a zero-based budgeting process with a thorough public discussion of the items contained in the UC budget. Under the leadership of the Budget Committee Chair and the Education Finance Subcommittee Chair, these hearings will give UC an opportunity to show efficiencies they have made and can make, and also show each dollar that could be spent holding tuition at its current level would be better spent on a different UC priority. Let's let them make the case. Members, on higher education and other challenges and opportunities before us, it will take all of us working together, talking to each other, and learning from each other. But we can do it. Democrat or Republican, Northern Californian, Central or Southern Californian, coastal or inland, rural or urban. By serving in the Assembly, we all have an amazing opportunity to help shape a stronger, brighter future for California. So to the members of the Assembly classes of 2010 and 2012, we have a chance to build on what we achieved last session. To the class of 2014, you now have the chance to help take California to even greater heights. Again, congratulations to the members of the California State Assembly. So now we get to work. Thank you. Thank you.